Rand Water has over the years warned its customers to reduce water consumption. Johannesburg and Tshwane residents are urged to use water sparingly as reserves are running low. To discuss the severity of the situation, Rand Water Chief Operations Officer Mahlomola Mehlo joins us live via Zoom. Thanks so much for your time. We appreciate it. I think let's just start off with how serious the situation currently is, because we do know that parts of Tshwane are currently without water. Is this linked to the fact that water is running out?
Well, good afternoon, Heidi, and good afternoon to the viewers at home. I think firstly, we need to paint a picture with regards to our water supply in the country. We do know that historically, South Africans, we are consuming far more water than the world average. If one has to talk figures there, on average, we're consuming over 230 liters per person per day, when you compare that to the world average of 170 per person per day. Now, if you consider the fact that South Africa is a water-scarce country, we do know that our rainfall patterns, when compared to the world's average, are far low. So that in itself says that we really need to be using water sparingly. The water interruptions that we've been seeing is mainly as a result of the demand that is outstripping the supply. We have, as Rand Water, made a call earlier on around the 26th of August that we're entering a summer season, which is a peak consumption period. This we know very well because historically we know when we get into the summer periods, especially your September, October, even up to November, this is where people now are starting to dress their lawns, sprinklers are coming out, and automatically the consumption of water shoots up. Rand Water has also released statements where we are pleading with consumers to even stop irrigating your gardens at this point until our situation starts to normalize.
Surely there should be another strategy, though, instead of having water restrictions and water cuts because of the high consumption. What is the strategy of Rand Water to encourage residents to not use as much water instead of just cutting water?
Well, surely, Heidi, we can agree that there can never be a strategy that encourages wastage of water. Of course, there are strategies to augment the supply that talks to the growing economy, that talks to unlocking the economic activities. But we unfortunately cannot have strategies that encourage the water wastage. We are talking approximately 30 to 40% of the water that we produce and supply to our customers that is actually going to waste. Statistically, these are the facts that we're talking about. In addition to this wastage that we're talking about, you have high usage, which we are saying these two factors combined are just rendering the provision of water unsustainable.
Sure, and then just speak to us about the issue that the city of Tshwane has raised. They are blaming Rand Water for the fact that there is no water in areas like Lodium. What is the actual issue there? And surely there can be a discussion with the city of Tshwane to try and find a solution, because if I might be wrong, and correct me if I am, but I know that Lodium is an area that has not had water for some time, and I'm not sure if it was actually linked to water restrictions.
Well, thank you for that question, Heidi. Actually, the issue in Lodium is an issue that the city of Tshwane themselves know very well. It's a historical issue wherein the system that supplies those areas has been constrained for a number of years. As Rand Water, we continue to engage city of Tshwane. We continue to proffer some of the solutions that we're in discussions with. There are augmentation projects that the city themselves actually conceptualized some years ago. Unfortunately, if you go on the ground now, you'll find that those pipelines are still lying there. Those projects have not been completed. We've also witnessed the leakage, the heavy leakage of water in that system, illegal connections, and these are the things that we've also written to the city demanding answers as to when are they actually completing that project, when are they dealing with illegal connections, when are they dealing with the leakages. Of course, it becomes easy to blame it on the current curtailments from Rand Water, but that is their own system. They are operating that system. They know over the years that that system has given them challenges, hence the conceptualization of that augmentation line, which has to date not been completed as yet.
Okay, I've run out of time, but I have to ask you, that community specifically and surrounding areas have not had water since Monday. Can you give us a time and a date of when the water will be restored?
The water is running in our systems, Heidi. The curtailments that we spoke of are allowing us to recover the systems in terms of the required levels. You would recall that we've always said that we need to operate our systems between 60 and 80%. That is exactly what the curtailments are doing. Unfortunately, I will not be able to give you the exact time. Safe to say that the reservoirs are picking up, and as soon as the system normalizes in the reticulation of the municipalities, surely the people will start to get water.
Okay, great. Thanks so much for that update. That was Rand Water Chief Operations Officer, Mr. Mehlo.